right, so good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It's kind of still morning, right? It's almost afternoon once we get to that noon place. My name is Nikita Lawrence. I'm extremely excited to be here. I'm grateful to Charla for the idea and the gift of this amazing movement. This has been an absolute incredible experience. I'm from the States, as you can probably hear in my accent. I spent a little bit of time also in the southern states of the U.S., so you probably hear a little bit of that southern twang. I can't get rid of it. I've tried. And so I'm eternally blessed and grateful. I have my amazing husband and my beautiful daughter that are here with me to support this opportunity. It's my first time to Canada. And so, woo! I will tell you, it has been, and we actually took the long road of driving, all the way from Chicago. And so we hit a pit stop and we hit a bump in the road, but we kept going, and it was a long ride, but we made it here. And so the first thing I want you to do, everyone looks absolutely fabulous, is I want you to do this. I want you to look to your neighbor, so pick a neighbor, someone sit next to you, and I want you to smile at that neighbor, and I want you to tell her, you look absolutely beautiful. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love it. I love the energy in the room. And so how did it feel when you got that compliment from your neighbor? How did it make you feel? Good. Made you kind of sit up a little bit better, right? Maybe, lick your lips or, stand a little taller. It gave you probably a dose of confidence. Now let me ask you another question. When was the last time someone told you that you looked absolutely beautiful? Was it this before now? Was it this morning? Was it yesterday? Was it last week? Has it ever happened? And we laugh and we joke about it, but the reality is that truly what it takes in order for us to be everything we were created to be or designed to be is that we really understand who we are, why we were created, and then we begin to develop and to craft a vision for our lives. Now, oftentimes, what will happen is that we'll have bumps in the road or people to come in our life and they'll tell us what we're not. Anyone had anybody criticize them before? Anyone had anybody tell them, you're not this? Maybe you're not pretty, maybe you're not tall enough, maybe you're not this or that enough. And so then what happens when those words are spoken? So many times we can remember, even from small childhood, that, bully on the playground, right? Or that kid that said something that was absolutely hurtful. And it's that word, it's that moment, it's that experience that you hold on to that locks you into the place of your past so that you can experience the beauty of living limitless or reaching the peak of your potential or being exactly who you were created to be. Now, everyone that's here in the room came here looking for something. You came searching for an experience, an opportunity, transformation, something that would help you be a little bit better, right? So I want you to take a moment, and I want you to pick your neighbor again, the one that told you you were absolutely beautiful. And I want you to share with them what brought you here to this conference. All right, everybody. All right, so everyone has had a chance to share why they are here. Now, this is the Fearless Conference, right? The Fearless Conference. And so how many of us came just because someone told us to come? How many of us came because someone said, you really need to be here, and they didn't really tell you why? And how many of us came because we really are ready to stop living in fear? And you're ready to start living with courage. Most of us that are here. And so I want to ask you this. What's your greatest fear? Being exposed, failure? For some dying, for some public speaking? As you think about the idea of fear, it truly is an idea, right? It may happen. What your greatest fear is, it may not happen. But what is amazing and mind-boggling to me about fear is that it literally paralyzes us. And it prevents us from taking any action at all. Now, back in Chicago, I remember a time where there was we had a garage and we had a little townhome, and the garage door never shut all the way. It kind of had a little crook into it, and it was the winter time. And there was this absolutely disgusting, like, possum thing that crept into the garage. And so I'm coming home from school, and I'm like walking, and all of a sudden I'm here, and I see like this pink tail. I'm like, oh my God, but I have to jump over where this thing is to get into the door. So what am I gonna do? So I'm walking in the garage, I'm like, what am I gonna do? And for a moment I froze. And I didn't know what to do, and I couldn't move. My feet were like planted, they were stuck. But on the other side of that door was my safety. So I had a choice to make. Am I going to stand here and stay stuck? Or am I gonna close my eyes and run really fast and hop over it to get into the other side of my home, which is my safe haven? So what do you think I did? I stood there and cried. No. So after I realized I had to take action over fear, I closed my eyes and I ran and did like this hop, skip kind of thing and flew, and I landed inside, and then we got it taken care of. But those moments, it felt like the world stood still. And I thought it was amazing how just the idea of fear of, now this thing is like, you know, super small. I'm probably thousands of times heavier than this, and it could not hurt me. It wouldn't injure me, but just the idea of something coming into my space that was not invited was enough to shake me and to create this fear that, oh my gosh, what'll happen? What if it, like, you know, looks at me, you know? And we laugh and we joke, and what's amazing is that for many of you, maybe your fear is not what mine was. Maybe you didn't have that experience. But there's something that happened. Somewhere along the way in your life, there's something that happened that created this idea of fear that even in this very moment is currently hindering you from being at the peak of your potential and being everything you were designed to be. What if I told you in this very moment, you have everything it takes inside of you already to be like a superhero? Would you believe me? Or would you say, yeah, right? Many of you are nodding. Some are like, I don't know. Some are just blank-faced, like, you know, I never thought about it. One of the first questions that came up with our first presenter was, hey, what would you do if there were no rules? If there were no restrictions, no limitations, what would you do? Where would you be? What would you accomplish? What would be your goals? And so what I found is that so often in life, our past experiences, what we have seen, what we believe, all of those things kind of work together in this big pool. And they all create excuses and obstacles that limit you from being everything you were designed to be. Think about your most beautiful flower. Who can tell me what their favorite flower is? A rose? Lily, all right? Iris, sunflower. So all of those beautiful flowers, how did they begin? As a seed in the dirt and the ground. And so think about it. So look at your life. Think about the fruit of your life and where you are right now. What has been the fruit of that seed? Have you grown to become a beautiful flower that blossoms? Or have you kind of withered like a weed? That's not so pretty. And then I want you to ask yourself, what are you going to do about it? So you think about it. Unfortunately, in life, it's not just this beautiful road up to success and sunny skies and beautiful flowers all the time. Things happen, right? Life happens. We may try to be superwoman and be the most confident and most beautiful and most successful, but guess what? Life happens. And when it happens, what do? I've often heard it said, because I work in HR, and so I do a lot of teaching and training and classes and workshops and all that. And so I often teach my teams, look, I know you may have heard, leave your problems at home, leave it at the door, put a smile on your face. You can fake it till you make it, right? How many have heard that stuff? So, does it work? Maybe temporarily, right? For a short time. You fake it till you make it, till you crash. Till you crash and burn, till you have that mental breakdown. You're like, what am I even doing? Where am I at? Who am I? How did I allow life to get like this? And then you reach what's the most critical moment. And that's the moment of your decision to either move forward into your personal transformation or to stay stuck or to stay forever making excuses and blaming this person or that person or your mom or your boss or your aunt or your stepbrother or whoever it was that did you wrong. And the reality is that no one controls the power of your future, but who? You. No one else. Not fear, not bad circumstances. Everyone has challenges. If I were to share with you my story, you'd be like, whoa, and you still made it here? Everyone has challenges. Everyone has a story, but there's so much beauty at the end of your story when you take the step to move forward and to triumph over your obstacles. The definition of courage is not being just fearless or having an absence of fear. It's being able to look fear right in the eye and say, I see you, I feel you, but I am not controlled by you. You say to fear, I see you, I feel you. Maybe you're making me nervous. Maybe you're making me sweat. Maybe I have, butterflies in my tummy. But I am not controlled by you. And then you take the first step and you move forward. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great. Think about those beautiful flowers we just spoke about. They didn't begin as the beautiful rose or lily or tulip. They began as an ugly little seed. And if not placed in the right environment, right, which for you would be people, resources, your network, your tribe, with the right people, right? If it wasn't given sunlight and water, would the flower have ever bloomed? Would we have ever seen the beauty? No. And so what does that mean for you today? Now, my topic is unlocking your wealth success chamber. Again, everything that you need is already on the inside as a seed, just as that beautiful flower started as a seed. But you have to get into the right environment, be with the right people at the right place at the right time. Get around those that celebrate your success. Don't stay around folks that constantly bring you down or remind you of your failures. Those are not the folks that are going to help you get to the peak of your potential. Choose your circle. Choose your resources. Start watching YouTube videos, right? Mel Robbins or, whoever you want to aspire to be. Start learning from them. Impartation occurs when you are met with the information that that person is providing. So if you need a mentor, think of the person you think is most successful, and if they have a book, read it. Start there. Put yourself in the position to get everything that you deserve, but no longer see yourselves as that ugly little seed. Begin to envision yourself as the beautiful flower, because our lives reflect the very things that we allow them to be opened up to be. So if you allow yourself to be opened up to peace and joy and success and wealth and happiness and everything you ever desired, you can have it. But if you stay closed and you stay stuck and you stay around folks that are not helpful to you, you'll never experience it. And so I'll leave you with this. The definition that I teach about personal transformation are these 4 words. It's to be disruptive and grow. Be disruptive and grow. Typically, the idea of disruption is one that doesn't feel good, or it's the bad person in the class, right? But think about Apple. How many have an iPhone? Most of us. Apple came to disrupt the technology industry. Was that a bad thing? Many of us keep our iPhones at our hips. We sleep with them by our pillows, and we're grateful for the innovation. But that required transformation. It required disruption. And so I want to leave with you this idea that in order for you to unlock your wealth success chamber, you have to be willing to disrupt every negative thought pattern, idea, belief system, or even relationship that doesn't serve you today for the future that you want to experience tomorrow or in your future. And who holds the keys to your future? Who holds the keys to your future? I do. Only you do. So I invite you to take the keys and see where the road takes you. Will you have ups and downs and turns, and maybe you'll hit some hills or mountains? Yeah. But what will be the result of your journey? That you'll have a beautiful story and you'll have a lot of lessons, because our mistakes are our greatest lessons. And you'll have the opportunity to share a message that allows others to not make the same mistakes that you've made. And when you do all of that, and you use your super skill and your special gift that you have, you are helping to make your world a better place. I have a free gift for everyone over at my table. You can enter for your chance to win. I want to thank you for the opportunity, Charlotte. Godspeed.